this colleague, he used his empathy for good on me. I came through a situation. I was frustrated. He was gone for a week or two. He came back and I was frustrated and I was crying. I started crying in front of him, but hey, it was just me and him. And so he says, okay, I know exactly what you need. And so I was excited. I mean, I get my problem solved. I said, what is it? And he says, empathy. Well, when I was able to put a name to empathy, I thought it was a curse. I thought it was a curse. I don't even really want to talk about it now. Empathy is the ability to understand other people's perspectives, but it's more than understand. You feel other people's emotions. Because you're able to feel it, it helps you understand it. It helps you see their perspectives. And through this empathy, you are able to develop strategies to build trust and garner cooperation. So why am I saying it is a curse? Sometimes you don't always want to feel what other people feel. Sometimes you don't want to feel the pain that other people feel. Sometimes it hurts. And sometimes you need to work beyond the empathy. There was one of my peers in an organization I was in. I was not able to really get the cooperation that I needed from him, but that's another story. But what I found that in one particular situation, I sat beside him and I felt, it was a Monday, and I felt despair, frustration. And that was the feeling I was getting, this overall feeling. And I realized it was my empathy kicking in, which is another thing I talk about, is that when it kicks in, you have to be able to distinguish your emotions from somebody else's, because you feel them as if they're your emotions. So I discern that these are not my emotions. That's, my colleague next to me. And so I asked him, I said, did you have a nice weekend? Because it's a Monday. And he just shook his head. He said, I'm just tired. I'm just really, really tired. I need to get some rest. And I said, oh, okay, well, Friday will be here in a minute. By the time the meeting started, it was announced that a new deputy director was selected, and it wasn't him. And in my mind, I thought that he was the next deputy director. He should have been the next deputy director, but he got passed over. And that was a passover. I thought it should have been him. And I realized that the feelings of frustration and weariness indeed were his, and it indeed was attached to him being passed over again. And so I don't know what the moral of the story is, but what it helped me do is understand some of what he needed from me, what he needed from my organization. And I was going to him like he was a customer. I really needed to go to him like he was a partner, and helping him with some of his frustrations, some of the frustrations that he never articulated and couldn't articulate. And so using that knowledge, I was able to build more cooperation and get more trust out of him. I understood more why he didn't trust my organization, and I was able to work through some strategies to do it. I was able to do that with another colleague, and this is another story. This colleague who actually, he used his empathy for good on me. I came through a situation. I was frustrated. He was gone for a week or two, and he came back and I was frustrated and I was crying. I started crying in front of him, but hey, it was just me and him. And so he says, okay, I know what you need. I know exactly what you need. And so I was excited. I mean, I get my problem solved. I said, what is it? And he says, Peking duck. I said, Peking duck. He says, yes, Peking duck. Peking duck. He says, I'll pick you up in front of your building in 10 minutes. And then he leaves, and I said, is he really going to pick me up? So I looked up my window, and there he was in front of the building. So I ran down there, and we're in suburban Maryland. The restaurant is in Northern Virginia, which is not close to the office. So we go clear across the Potomac River to a place and we get Peking duck. And it was so good. And he was right. That's what I needed. And that moment, we built a really solid relationship with each other, one that was about mutual trust and cooperation. But it was about his empathy for what I needed, which is Peking duck. So empathy is a good management tool.
If this episode sparked something for you, don't let it stop here. Subscribe to the Next Level Paycheck and join Linda Cureton every week to break the $80,000 ceiling with faith, strategy, and unstoppable confidence.